As we're headlining, 3 drivers have now died while waiting at the busy Beitbridge border post. Traffic at the post with Zimbabwe has been at a standstill for over 5 days now. At least 11 other people dying earlier this week while waiting to get into Zimbabwe. I want to talk now to Gavin Kelly, who's the Chief Executive Officer of the Road Freight Association, who is obviously watching the situation, I imagine, with a great deal of concern. 3 more unnecessary deaths. Gavin, good afternoon to you. What were the circumstances?
Good afternoon, Jeremy. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to correct you. It's now 4. And the circumstances are just this, that trucks are standing in queues that are 20 kilometers long on either side of the border. The guys are sitting in their trucks because they can't leave them for a number of reasons. First of all, is they don't want to leave the trucks unattended. Secondly, if they leave their truck, then somebody will take their place. So temperatures on those trucks are something like 43, 44 degrees. The guys don't have access to water, they don't have access to food, and of course there are no toilets or ablutions. It's a pitiful state of affairs.
Surely this situation could have been foreseen.
Well, Jeremy, you're using a word surely. You know, sitting right here, I cannot believe what's happening. We know that every year Beitbridge becomes a cluster point or a point where people try and get from South Africa up north to their countries. They've been working all year in South Africa, so Zambians, Zimbabweans, Malawians, you name them, all try and go through that border post. So we know that happens. We should be prepared for that. We know that COVID has hit us. We know that there are extra protocols. Some of the borders and the routes that transporters would have used, or buses and people going home would have used, have closed. Botswana, Mozambique, there are challenges. So we knew that there was going to be this massive amount of people going to Beitbridge. But government has failed us.
What should government have done?
Well, first of all, they knew about the protocols that are being implemented on their side as well as the Zimbabwean side. So they should have taken some steps like you see happening around the rest of the world, where you move the screening processes away from the border to an area where there are facilities and toilets. So, for example, at the nearest town, you put on more staff to deal with this so you can get the vehicles to throw through after screening, and you get people to move through that choke point as quickly and as easily as possible. We should have put far more facilities in place in readiness for this.
Gavin Kelly from the Road Freight Association, I'm assuming that you have or will reach out to the Department of Home Affairs about this. If you have, what have you heard?
We've reached out to many departments, and we've reached out to the President again, appealing that he deals with this, what is now a humanitarian crisis. And we've had a couple of comments back, no direct comment. The first comment was that, it's the drivers arriving at the border without the necessary documents, which is absolute rubbish. You cannot get near that border unless you've been pre-cleared through either SARS or ZIMRA. So we've really just had one blame-storming session after the other as one department points a finger at the next one, or then at the coronavirus, which has now changed everything.
Is there any indication that these long queues are going to recede anytime soon?
Well, not within the next 24 hours, that's for sure. I think it's going to take a couple of days. What we're trying to do now is getting water to all the trucks. We've implored the Department of Defense and military veterans to get water tankers deployed along those routes. We've asked the South African police services to patrol the routes because we have robberies and looting happening. And of course, we need some medical assistance there as well.
Your advice to your members would be not to traverse the road. Can you actually make a call like that?
Well, I mean, right now, I just had that question earlier on, should we leave for the border? Right now, if it's not crucial and it's not something that is very much time aspect related, then we would say give a couple of days, let this sort out. I mean, the 15 kilometers as it stands right now isn't going to disappear by the time you get there. It's probably going to take at least 24 hours to resolve.
And the domino effect here is that it will have a staggering impact at some point on the economy.
Yes, it will. Well, first of all, all of the goods going north, consumers are going to be probably hit hard. There are going to be shortages, and I'm sure prices are going to increase. And then, of course, the standing time in terms of the vehicles around there. But it's the lives lost, Jeremy. We didn't need to lose another 4 drivers for no reason whatsoever.
Gavin Kelly, thank you very much indeed, Chief Executive Officer of the Road Freight Association.